I even have some different sets put together, because one of the things you want to do at your parties is sell in sets. It's really important, because if you show a whole bunch of different products and then the consumer's going, oh, there's so many decisions to make, and it's really hard for them to decide, and they think, you know what, let me think about it. Let me just start with the spatula, the small little thing. Let me think about it, and then I'll come back and I'll buy something else. So when you take your products and you put it together, and we call it set selling, and you put it together and you sell it as a set, it really helps the consumer. Does anyone ever go to, like, you go to buy perfume, and if they have the perfume that you want and they're selling it with a lotion and a body wash, you're tempted, you're like, you know what, for just a little bit more I can get that. I was just at a homeschool convention, and I was laughing at myself because it happened to me, it happened to me, and it was one of those moments where you're like, that's what we always talk about. This author was selling his books, and I'd gone to listen to him speak, and I want to go get some of those books. So I go to his little booth, and I'm looking, and I pick out a couple of the books, and when I get down to the end to check out, what do they have? A set. And so immediately I'm like, well, wait a minute. My brain's going, oh, I got to process this. What am I not getting in this set? So I start trying to think about, what am I not getting? So I'm not getting that book, that book. You know what, and just like that, I'm just going to get the set. And so when I pick up the set, I'm going, oh my gosh, that's exactly what we talk about. So that's what you want your customers to do. That's what you want the guests at your parties to do, is say, well, I want that. You know what, yeah, let me just get that set. So I'm going to talk about sets tonight, show you how to make the salsa. I do have the salsa recipe here. And then I have some tips here on the front and back. Some of the things, if you're new, you're going to say, well, what's that? We could talk to you for 5 hours tonight and go explain everything, but we're not going to do that to you. But if you have any questions, get with your director, get with your recruiter, whoever, get with someone, and they'll go through some of these things with you. Now, the other thing that I do want to tell you is that before you leave, those little, what is that?
Wrapped gift.
Wrapped gift, yes. I don't know if you can actually see it, but what I've done is part of party planning and getting ready for your party, which we're going to talk about tonight, and this information that we have here, a party clock is referenced here. It's important that you have a party clock so that you know, what do I do next? What's the next step that I have? All of that information we burn to a CD, and you're going to get to take it home with you tonight. So yay! All right, so this material as well is on there, so you'll be able to take that. So let's get started. What does it say? This is how to do an easy party using your kit. It's all scripted out here for you. The first thing you want to do is follow the party clock, and you'll be able to see that on your CD. You welcome your guest. I really definitely believe in the auction, that you use your auction money. I apologize if I forgot my auction money.
Oh, I have it in
Do you have your auction money?
Yes, in that manila folder.
Okay. You want to use the auction money because, number one, it's paper, and it doesn't cost anything at all to make up auction money. This is what your auction money looks like. It's just paper. I recommend 1,000s, 10,000s, and 50,000s. And it has your name and number on it, and it says Tupperware auction money. You guys all see that? And this is something that is fun to do at parties because you can pay your guests to do anything. They really, really get into this. So you invite your guests. Once the party gets started, you invite everybody, and you go to each person and you give them auction money for being there. And so what I always do is I do a quick little intro. Hey, my name's Inke. Thanks for being here at Judy's Tupperware Party. We're going to have a blast today. At every Tupperware party, what I love to do is what I call Tupperware auction. And that's where you have a chance to earn lots and lots of auction money, because at the very end of the party, after we've done the demonstration, the ordering, everything, we're going to meet right back in here, and we're going to do a live auction where you're going to bid against each other on some Tupperware pieces that I brought. Sound good? Sound like some fun? All right, so you need some auction money. Just for being here, I'm going to give you $10,000. $10,000 if you brought a guest or an outside order to help out with the party, and $1,000 for telling me your favorite piece of Tupperware. So then I just go to each guest, and I said, okay, tell everybody who you are.
Carol.
Carol. All right, Carol's here. Yay, $10,000. Do I owe you for any guests or outside orders?
Whitney and Jade.
Oh, great.
Go, Carol.
Since you guys are guests, you're going to get money as well. And how about any outside orders? Say no. Say no.
No.
Oh, that's okay. You know what to do at the next party, though. You got this down. And $1,000 for your favorite piece of Tupperware.
The lawnmower.
Ah, the little chopper.
The chopper.
Little lawnmower. Okay, so I go to each person and do that. I always tell everybody who you are, even if I know their name, because I need to hear their
That's
name
right.
again. I can't even remember my kids' names. I'm really bad at that, but I think it's so important to call people by their names. It's so important for me to say, Whitney, thanks so much for being here. What do you think about that, Whitney? It just makes, it's important. I want someone to call me to know what my name is, even if they said it wrong. All right, so I go to each guest, and I give them money. I give my hostess $100,000, and I say it just like that. My hostess is going to get $100,000 just for being the hostess for tonight. Because don't you want everyone to be envious of the hostess? Because you want them to say, I want to be a hostess. And so you want them to date a party. So the auction is great. Throughout the whole party, use your auction money. Pay them for anything. If you feel like you're getting kind of lost in the auction, say, all right, for some extra auction money, who can tell me the two of the favorite things you've seen so far? So you can kind of pull people back together.
That's good.
If you need someone to help you out in the kitchen, which we're going to do in a little bit, you say, all right, $10,000 for the first 2 people who volunteer to help me out in the kitchen. So do you see how the auction money can be used for everything? To get the auction going, after I've greeted each guest and given them money like you just saw, then I'll say, okay, for some extra auction money, who can tell me the #1 selling cookie since 1912? And I'll ask little trivia. And this is also on your CD. So you can come up with any trivia you want, but we get you started. But you can come up with anything you want. And it's just a way to get the guest going. Because sometimes whenever a party gets started, it's intimidating to be up here and to see this. Everyone just sitting looking at you going, you're like, okay, y'all are waiting on me to do a little tap dance, aren't you? That's a little intimidating. So if you can get people to go and just have a good time and relax and let it out, and they do that with the auction. I don't know why it is. It just makes people get engaged. It gets the party started. So do that from the beginning, and you're going to see the whole atmosphere of your party just like that, and everyone has money in their hands. So after you've asked a couple auction questions, give them money for 2 people, say the answer at the same time, you pay them both. So the guests are going to get wrapped up into the auction. They're going to think this is real money. They're going to go pay their mortgage with it. You want them to do that because at the end, you want them to be engaged in your party, but you don't want to do that because if you start doing that, you're like, no, that's not the right answer. Next. You don't want to do that. You want to go, oh my gosh, you're so close. Okay, it's chocolatey. What do you think? It's chocolatey. And if 2 people say it at the same time, you pay them both. I always tell everyone, someone will say something about, oh my gosh, I remember when my mom had this piece of Tupperware. I'm like, oh my gosh, thanks for sharing. I'll give them some auction money. And then someone will say, you paid her for that? I'm like, shoot, if you told me my shoes were cute, I'd pay for that. And they'll go, your shoes are cute. Okay, pay for that. People are laughing. They're having a good time. That's what your auction money can do, is really just make your party be exactly what you want it to be. Okay, so what's next on our list? Next, we've welcomed our guests. We give auction money. Now we're going to give out our lap boards. Lap boards are just, if you imagine a 3-ring binder that has one of those clear parts in the front that you can slide something into, imagine if you cut that off, and you can put a recruiting flyer in the front, and when you flip it over, it's got a little pocket. Take our shopping order form, fold it in half, slide it right down into there. And so I pass that out. I pay them. I tell them to fill out in the top left-hand corner your name, address, phone number, email. And the first 3 people to be done, I'm going to give you $10,000 in auction money. So now, in 10 seconds, every single person in the room has written all their information on their worksheet. Why is that important? Well, remember when Judy said you want to be out of the party in 2 hours? If you don't do that, then when the guests come to place their order, they have to stop and fill that out. Well, imagine if you have 10 guests at a party, and every person has to do that, and that takes a minute. You just added 10 minutes to your party. So it's a nice, fun way to do it. Plus, keeps people going. All right, so then the next thing you do is you go right into your recruiting game that you're going to do. And to save time, we'll chat about that one at a different time. And then we're going to go right into to doing our demonstration part of the party. So you following the party clock so far? We've got the audience warmed up, so to speak, and we're going to go right into the demo then after that. Any questions so far about what we've done up until then?